Hey class, it's me, Sam. How you doing? You guys look terrific. Okay, today I'm going to talk about how to look at art. Now, so often you guys, my students, complain that you don't trust your own opinions about this stuff because you don't know anything about art. But look, the beauty of art, so to speak, is that everything you need to know is right in front of you. It's all right there. It's on the canvas. It's in the sculpture. It's in the building that you're studying. It's all right there. All you have to do is make observations. Now, everything else that you need, other than what's on the canvas or what's in front of you, is already in your head. So you have everything you need to analyze art. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Your opinion is excellent, and I want to hear it. So let's look at this piece and talk about it. And I'll give this as an example. Now, this is The Scream by Edvard Munch. And this is actually a series of paintings and also some pastels, I think, he created. But he painted these, or, pasteled them, as you, I guess you'd say, between 1893 and 1910. And there's been a lot written about them. It's a very popular piece. But the reason I'm going to go over this is because it's actually fairly easy to have a feeling about this painting, and that's the first step in analyzing art. You need to just feel it. All right. So yeah, that's a terribly poncy thing to say, right? Hey, just feel it. Feel this painting, man. But it's true. How does this piece make you feel? This is what art's about. But you can't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. You don't have to make the work doesn't have to make you feel like you're witnessing a heavenly choir, or that you're dappled in wildflowers on the Spanish plain. No, don't get that complicated. How about it makes you feel tense, or it makes you feel scared, or it makes you feel happy, or disgusted, or enraged, or it makes you feel calm and peaceful? These are feelings, right? These are pretty core, simple emotions. And most artwork will inspire that immediate kind of reaction in you. And sometimes the reaction will be strong, and sometimes it will be weak. But feel it. Now, The Scream, this work, makes me feel a tad uneasy, right? Now, this piece is pretty obvious, and it's pretty obvious why it might make me feel uneasy. It's a painting of a weird looking dude, or maybe it's a woman, screaming. And it's literally called The Scream. Of course it makes me a bit uptight. But let's go a little deeper than that. How does this piece come together to heighten that sense, or to create that sense of tension? Well, in all art, there's something called line. Now, line is an identifiable path created by a moving point in space. Again, don't overthink this. You know what a line is, right? There are lines that go up and down, up and down, and those are called vertical lines, as you might imagine. There are lines that go left and right. Of course, I did that in reverse, left and right. And those are called horizontal lines, as you might imagine. There are diagonal lines, and there are curved lines. Okay? Now, all of these lines inspire certain feelings. They just do. It's true. Horizontal lines, for example, here, tend to create a sense of calm because they're like the horizon, I mean, think about the horizon. It's a sunset. You have a big landscape, and it's very peaceful, and on and on and on. A vertical line, which there really aren't too many vertical lines here, if really any. I mean, this figure is vertical, but in any case, vertical lines tend to create a sense of height. And diagonal lines tend to create a sense of motion. And curved lines create energy. Imagine energy right there. Uh, Now, when you take a vertical line and a horizontal line, like this, and you combine them, you tend to create a sense of power. You have right angles right here, and over here, of course. And look at your dresser, for example. It's built with horizontal lines and vertical lines, typically. And your dresser is solid. It's a real piece. It's immovable. It's heavy. You know that. It's strong. Unless you got it from IKEA, and that's a totally different story. Anyway, diagonal lines, like I said, create this sense of motion. Okay, again, don't overthink this stuff. These aren't hard, fast rules that you have to memorize. But these ideas tend to be true. All right, so keep them in mind. Now, let's look at the screen. And I'll tell you what I think. Now, I'm not reading this off of Wikipedia. This is my reaction, my personal reaction to the scream, and it may be different than your personal reaction. All right, so in terms of line, the first thing I notice is that there's one straight line. There's one sort of fixed straight line, and it's this railway and the walkway. And it's done in perspective, which means simply that, there's a vanishing point at some place and it disappears. Now remember, diagonal lines create a sense of motion. So the way I feel here is that this person is staring at me. He's looking whoosh, whoosh, right at me. Hey, Sam, I'm going to scream at you. And that's what he or she is doing. And right here, there's a sense of motion. This is either going backwards or it's going forwards, right? So these people in the background, these guys, are either coming at me or they're walking away. So that tells me that, the clues that I'm looking at here are either this guy or girl is screaming because he did something or she did something that he or she is terrified about, and he is scared of these people coming to get him, her. Or, conversely, these people are walking off into some terrible future, and this person can't handle it. It's a future that he or she wants absolutely no part of. Okay, so there's our diagonal, right? This is all, again, observation. Now, the diagonal's cut off right here. The rest of this is wavy or curved. I mean, this is, you could say this is a horizontal line, but that's the horizon. And I'll get into that in a minute. But everything is arced and curved. Now remember, we said that curves create energy. So even her hands are curved. Even her face and skull and body is curved. This is energy. This is all energy. You can almost hear it, right? You can almost hear this scream coming out of this thing, person, alien. I don't know what this is, but you can almost feel it. It's very energetic. And maybe I think that's why this piece was so popular. Because, look, if I painted a picture of somebody screaming, you would be like, hey, that's not bad for a kindergartner, That's pretty good, Sam, you stink. But this has captured this scream in a way that is energetic and really ominous. Okay, so there's our line. Now, there's one other thing that you have to consider. Color. Color is such a major part of any work, even a building. Color is a major part of it. You can't overlook it. Now, there are other elements that go into analyzing art, but today I'm just going to talk about line and color. Now, think about this. This is just, it's gaudy. It's just vibrant, energetic orange and yellow. And it meets right here along this horizontal, this extremely deep, dark blue. And it's And then, of course, this is dark, this is dark, this is dark. It's not beige, is it? It's not beige and tan and pretty pastel colors like the Impressionists, which we'll look at later in the quarter. This is dark. I mean, it's dark and it's contrasty, and those contrasts make me feel extremely uneasy. So here we have the curve that provides energy. Here we have this motion to some unknown destination. And by the way, it being unknown makes me uneasy too, because I don't know what's happening. That's jarring. Viewers like to know exactly what's going on, and if you don't, it makes you uneasy. That's how horror films make you scared. And you have this sort of horrible, gaudy, flaming contrast in the work, in the color. Okay, so if I didn't know anything about line or about color, this is still how I would feel about this work. All I did here was observe. I made observations and I gave voice to those observations. And that's what I'm looking for you to do as the quarter moves on. I want you to make observations and I want you to explain them. This piece makes me feel uneasy. Why does it make you feel uneasy? Well, this. You're not going to be wrong. If you tell me how you feel and you explain it using evidence from the work, you make critical observations of the work. Pretty easy. Just feel it, man. Okay, until next time, please let me know if you have any questions. Talk soon. Bye-bye.